and I'll introduce a couple of other folks a little bit later in the meeting. I also want to express appreciation to Sam Figueroa. Sam Figueroa, while he's one of the newest members of the ICCC team, has been playing a wonderful and productive job in putting together this kickoff event. Sam, welcome to the team. Thanks for your leadership. And thanks as well to Britton Walker for participating and for supporting this effort. This is a team effort. We've got 17 professionals who do nothing but work on the Intercity Capital Connections program, part of a team of 44 people who are part of our nonprofit called the Initiative for a Competitive Intercity. And for those who wonder where we came from, we were created by Harvard Business School professor, Dr. Michael Porter, in 1994, after the LA uprising, in the belief that cities, inner cities, and under-resourced communities and neighborhoods could be revitalized by the creation of sustainable small business ecosystems. We were a research organization at the very beginning, studying those under-resourced neighborhoods. We're now, of course, an organization that works not only in research, but in practice leadership, and the Intercity Capital Connections program is our signature program, started back in 2005. I want to thank all of you for joining us this morning. Welcome to the kickoff event for our inaugural Northern Virginia Inner-City Capital Connections cohort. We've got a tremendous track record in this mid-Atlantic region, which I'm proud to share with you. We're currently running our 4th Baltimore cohort. We actually kicked off the opening seminar just yesterday. The first 3 cohorts in Baltimore trained 232 small businesses, 81% BIPOC owned, 56% woman owned, and those 232 businesses have averaged 57% revenue growth since completing the Intercity Capital Connections program. A little bit closer to Northern Virginia, this year we'll run our 4th District of Columbia or DC cohort. The numbers are strikingly similar. 261 businesses have been trained. They are 73% BIPOC owned, 57% woman owned, and they've averaged 51% revenue growth since completing the program. And equally important, those small businesses have created, we can document, almost 800 jobs created by those small businesses. We call that impact. And with your help, we'll have an equally powerful outcome when the Northern Virginia cohort kicks off on October 19th and 21st. None of this, of course, would have been possible without the leadership and unwavering support of Kaiser Permanente, whose team I'll acknowledge shortly. We cannot express too strongly our gratitude for Kaiser Permanente's investment of time, energy, and resources during the past 6 years, and for their commitment to underwrite 12 Intercity Capital Connections cohorts in 2021 alone, across the United States, including Baltimore, District of Columbia, and this one in Northern Virginia. But numbers tell only a small story. And I'd like to quote Alma Roberts. Alma Roberts is Kaiser Permanente's Interim Director, Community Health and Economic Opportunity and Impact in the Mid-Atlantic region. I quoted this just yesterday because I thought it was so important to understand why we're all doing this, why we're all here. So I quote Alma Roberts as follows. It is important for all of us to acknowledge that we are living in and struggling through some of the most difficult times in the push to advance equity in this country. The pandemic and the eruption of racialized violence in our country has made equity an imperative. This program and the work we do together to build capabilities and capacities of minority-owned businesses is especially underscored at this time in our history. We must do this and more, all of us. Alma, thank you for your leadership, and thanks to Kaiser Permanente for constantly turning moral leadership into positive action. I also want to acknowledge Kaiser Permanente's partners who have become our partners during the past 6 years. You'll see on the slide in front of you, Vizient, the largest group purchasing organization in America, the AmerisourceBergen Foundation, EY, and Cardinal Health. It's a wonderful team, and we're grateful for Kaiser Permanente for making those strong introductions many years ago. Turning to the next slide, I'd like to acknowledge our national partners for the support of our work. Bank of America, FedEx, Regions Bank, Arcturus Impact Investors, Boston Consulting Group, Edward Jones, the National Business League, and Rose International. And I note that Bank of America in the upper left corner was the founding grantor. They made the original grant back in 2005 that made the ICCC program possible. I also want to thank our local partners, and I want to welcome a group of distinguished Northern Virginia organizations and their leaders. You'll see in front of you a group of local partners who have already indicated strong support for this program, and I thank our alumni who will nominate their fellow small business owners. We've got an alumni organization called the Inner City Alumni Network, almost 6,000 strong by the end of this year, and we rely on our alumni to nominate other like-minded small business owners whom they believe can benefit just as they've benefited. And turning to the next slide, I want to welcome a group of Northern Virginia organizations, many of them involved with us for the first time, many of them getting to know us for the first time. It's your willingness to serve as nominating partners, coaches, and key advisors that will enable us to recruit participants and build trust, because trust is the most important ingredient that we have. People don't know ICIC, people don't know the ICCC program, but if each of you plays a leadership role in educating your constituents, small businesses throughout your footprint, we will have an extraordinarily successful cohort when we get together in October. ICIC's mission is inclusive economic prosperity, but our vision is bigger than that. Our vision is to close this nation's racial wealth gap, end concentrated poverty. And of course, Kaiser Permanente cares all about wellness outcomes, because if you can reduce poverty and close the racial wealth gap, wellness outcomes will improve dramatically. We believe the best way to accomplish this is to create sustainable small business ecosystems in our under-resourced neighborhoods and communities, where life expectancy is often 20 to 25 years or more shorter than in more affluent communities. That's morally wrong, it's economically wrong, and we're all here to change it. So let me, in the few moments that I have left, make a few introductions. First, I mentioned Kaiser Permanente, and you'll be hearing momentarily some welcome remarks by Ruth Williams-Brinkley, the regional president of Kaiser Permanente in the Northern Virginia, but really the full Mid-Atlantic region. I've already mentioned Alma Roberts, and Alma, thanks for your leadership and for your vision as expressed in that quote. I want to thank the quarterback of this program from Kaiser Permanente, Laura Flam. Laura's senior program manager. She not only plays this leadership role for the Northern Virginia cohort, but she does the same in Baltimore and in DC. She did it last year. She did it brilliantly. She has been instrumental. She's been an extraordinary partner every step of the way. And I also want to acknowledge Medley DeLeonibus, I hope I'm pronouncing name correctly, Business Development Executive at Kaiser Permanente. Moving on to some of our speakers, and you'll be hearing from many of them shortly. I want to thank Milan Tran, Executive Director of the Virginia Asian Chamber of Commerce, a new partner for the Northern Virginia region. She's been a major advocate for the ICCC program in Northern Virginia and has connected us with other local resources and organizations. I want to acknowledge Michelle Zajour, founder and CEO of the Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, also a new partner. We're grateful for Michelle's leadership, and we're also grateful for Victor Hoskins, President and CEO of the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority, who will also be speaking in just a few moments, a leader of economic development throughout the region. I want to acknowledge Sheila Dixon, Executive Director of the Northern Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce, who's helped coordinate the ICCC program in Northern Virginia. Thanks to Telly Tucker, Director of the Arlington Economic Development. To Catherine Dolan, Director of Business Development and Outreach Services at the Virginia Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity. To Aaron Miller, Director for Economic Innovation and Strategy at Johns Hopkins University, who's helped identify coaches for DC and Baltimore in the past. Thanks to Jody Keenan, State Director for the Virginia SBDC, To Walter Abbott from SCORE DC, we've got an extraordinarily productive and valuable relationship with SCORE in many chapters around the country. To Sean Hoskins, CEO of Hammerdown Enterprises, an alumnus of the program in 2020 who's attending this event. To Jesse Citizen, CEO of Citizen Consulting Solutions, also a 2020 alum. And to Stacy Gray Redmond, CEO of Gray Redmond Global Partners, a 2020 alumna, also attending the kickoff event. And you're going to be hearing from Kevin Jennings, CEO and co-founder of Millennium Corporation. He'll be sharing from the point of view of an alumnus of this program, what he learned, what it meant for him. He was a participant in our 2020 Atlanta Healthcare Cluster Cohort. And given the fact that we want to move it right along, I now want to introduce opening remarks recorded by Ruth Williams-Brinkley, as I said, president of the Kaiser Foundation Health Plan of Mid-Atlantic States, oversees all of Kaiser Permanente's care delivery and health plan operations in DC, suburban Maryland, Baltimore, and the Northern Virginia. And just for a point of reference, the Mid-Atlantic States region operates 33 medical office buildings and has 775,000 members. Kaiser Permanente is fortunate to have Ruth Williams-Brinkley lead it in the Mid-Atlantic region, as she did out in the Northwest. We met her in Portland, Oregon, when we had our first successful cohort there. We're thrilled that she's in the Mid-Atlantic region. Please give your attention to Ruth Williams-Brinkley's opening remarks.
Hello, I'm Ruth Williams-Brinkley, president of Kaiser Permanente Mid-Atlantic region. Welcome to the ICCC Nominator event. At Kaiser Permanente, our mission is to provide high-quality, affordable healthcare services and to improve the health of our members and the communities we serve. We believe that total health doesn't start or end at the doors of our medical facilities. It is fundamentally shaped by the social and economic conditions in our communities. That includes people having access to healthy food, transportation, housing, and economic opportunity. Over the past 4 years, we've supported efforts to expand access to economic opportunity by sponsoring the ICCC program and supporting innovative entrepreneurs building small businesses here in the Mid-Atlantic region. We know that when our small businesses are healthy, our communities and residents have a better chance of achieving total health. Since the beginning of 2020, COVID-19 has not only threatened our health, but also placed unprecedented economic hardship on small businesses. And sadly, small businesses owned by people of color have suffered the worst. Just as COVID-19 has taken a disproportionate toll on the health of people of color, it has also taken a disproportionate toll on the wealth of people of color, as well as women, especially entrepreneurs. Now, more than ever, small business leaders need access to capital. They need access to one-on-one coaching and capacity building education that the ICCC program provides. ICCC has had tremendous success here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Over the past few years, we've hosted a number of high-impact businesses. For example, in DC, we have a local staffing agency that is currently assisting us in our search for the brightest minds in healthcare. In Baltimore, a child care and development company is helping children and families to thrive. And in Northern Virginia, we have a children's medical care provider who is creating a vital healthcare safety net to protect and care for the youngest, most vulnerable members of our community. These business owners tell us that the knowledge and network they gain through the ICCC program enable them to grow their business and reach new heights. I've heard the testimonials, and they are doing an incredible job to advance our economy and create an equitable future for others. We want to see more success stories like these, which is why I'm encouraging you today to nominate a community business to participate in this year's ICCC program. I can't wait to hear many more stories and witness the powerful impact these businesses will have in their communities. Thank you for joining us today as we seek to lift up small business owners who are so critical to the economic well-being of our communities. Thank you.
Well, Ruth Williams-Brinkley is a great leader. She just laid the foundation. I just want to note that we've got a lengthy slide deck, and before you get worried, we're not going to go through all 30 slides with you today, but the slide deck will be sent to everyone who's on this call. You'll have a chance to look it over at your leisure. And with that, I want to turn it back over to Anna Marie Cruz for a program overview and some understanding of the nominator process. She and my colleague Sam Figueroa will handle that. Anna Marie, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. And thank you, Ruth, for those remarks and for kicking off today's event. I just want to echo our gratitude to Kaiser Permanente and to all of our partners for making this tuition-free program available in Northern Virginia. I also want to give a special thanks to one of our key nominating partners across multiple markets, Susan Lamping of CDC Small Business Finance, who's here today. They're a leading community advantage lender in the country, and Susan and her team have nominated over 500 businesses for 6 regions, including the DMV. So if you have any questions about nominating, I'm sure she'd be happy to hear from you. I just volunteered you there, Susan. As we focus on reopening, recovery, and resiliency, the ICCC program continues to serve the need to support our local small businesses to give them that competitive edge. As we have seen during the pandemic, these businesses serve as the cornerstone of so many of our neighborhoods that are vital to the well-being of our communities. I'd like to now provide some details about the Intercity Capital Connections program and the ways we've adapted the content to focus on recovery and resiliency. So what is the ICCC program? In short, it's a cohort-based 40-hour mini MBA taken over 5 months that positions small businesses for sustainable growth. Business owners who participate in the program have an opportunity to work on the business rather than in the business. And what are their key takeaways? Business owners will learn recovery strategies, not only to navigate the reopening, but also position themselves for long-term growth beyond the now. They'll gain a better understanding of the spectrum of capital as well as the steps to becoming capital ready. They'll access a network of other growth-minded small businesses to create their national community of businesses. And finally, they'll be able to leverage one-on-one coaching for additional accountability so that they can achieve their growth goals. So more specifically, the 4 components of the program are the opening seminar, which are 2 half-days, October 19th and 21st, of interactive education delivered by top-ranked management professors in 4 core subjects: finance, marketing, leadership, and strategy. New this year, we are introducing our digital learning modules, or our platform, to deepen the learning from the live sessions. And this is in addition to the ongoing workshops and webinars that we've always had in the ICCC program. And these are made accessible to participants in a flexible format, live and also on demand. I mentioned the one-on-one coaching, which is delivered in partnership with many of our partners across the country. And in this region, some of the folks that are already in the room, including SCORE, SBDC, and other technical assistance providers. And then finally, the last component is the national seminar, which is virtual this year, taking place in December. And this brings together our business owners from this year, as well as alumni from across the US and for the first time from Canada. I mentioned that the digital learning platform is brand new this year. This allows us to, again, deepen the learnings from the live sessions, as well as provide business owners. Oh, I apologize. Britton, we can advance the slides to the digital content. So in the digital content, we have deliverables that business owners can take to their partners, whether these are internal, their CFOs, their accountants, or external, perhaps their lenders in the capital module. And this just gives them a number of tools and frameworks that, again, helps them think through the strategy and the long-term growth, but also gives them tools to communicate the tactical pieces of those growth plans. I'm very excited about this because it's, again, just another way for business owners to still have flexibility, but at the same time focus on key areas that are important to them now, or perhaps next year as they'll access this learning platform indefinitely in the program. Now, what are requirements to the ICCC program? We have updated the criteria primarily around revenue requirements. Last year, we saw that it was important to serve as many businesses as possible. And in the past, our annual revenue requirement was actually 500,000. So we removed that, we relaxed that, and it's enabled us to reach more businesses, and particularly businesses that, as many of the speakers, have already mentioned, have been impacted by the pandemic. We are focused on businesses that are independently owned. We do accept nonprofit organizations as well as, of course, for-profit in any entity format. We've also seen, in addition to the typical entities, the LLCs, sole proprietors, and corporations, we've also seen cooperatives this year, we've been seeing interest in that, and we've seen some cooperatives actually apply. The businesses should have their headquarters located in economically distressed areas or have their employees residing in those regions. They must be past the proof of concept phase. And we say this because the program is really positioned to help businesses that are established, again, think about growth and that next step. So in essence, they must be in operation for at least 2 years. We do make exceptions, particularly for businesses or business owners that may have had entrepreneurship experience in the past. But in general, we really want this to be a cohort of businesses that can grow together. And again, we do make some exceptions, and as nominators, you become the consultants to us to learn more about that business's preparedness for the program, or whether they're ready to take on this program. And in order to give you the insider's look of the program, I think there's no better way than to have a participant actually share more about it. I can rave about the program as much as possible, but there's no better insight than from someone who actually went through it themselves. So I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Kevin Jennings, who is the CEO and co-founder of Millennium Corporation. And Kevin brings more than 20 years of senior level experience in program management, strategic planning, system engineering, as well as extensive operational experience. He holds a bachelor's from Virginia State University, so he's definitely local, a master's from Florida Institute of Technology, and he is a Lean Six Sigma black belt, making him a proven authority in technical and managerial proficiency. He's also a veteran member of the U.S. Army Acquisition Corps prior to founding Millennium, and Kevin spent more than 22 years acquiring in-depth knowledge of the Army's war-fighting doctrine and then transitioning those skills to the acquisition profession. He has instilled a culture of high quality and superior customer satisfaction within Millennium Corporation, which has directly led to the rapid growth and being recognized over multiple years by Inc. 500 as one of the fastest growing private companies in the nation. Kevin is an alum of the 2020 Atlanta Healthcare Cluster and resides in Northern Virginia. So Kevin, take it away.
Thank you, Anna, for that kind introduction, and good morning to everyone. It's certainly great to be with you on this special day, as I'm thrilled to participate in the Inner City Capital Connections kickoff for Northern Virginia. When I signed up last year, the Northern Virginia was not yet on the mark, but I couldn't wait, so I certainly went to the Atlanta cohort and joined, and I think it was certainly a great decision for me as an entrepreneur and as owner. Like Anna said, my name is Kevin Jennings. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Millennium Corporation, as well as a subsidiary company called K54 that really looks at the commercial market in cyber. Millennium Corporation is a leading edge cybersecurity software development and system engineering firm operating across the DoD and the federal market. We have been recognized for having the largest contingent of contracted red team operators in DoD, and currently setting around 60 plus certified red team operators. And we have over 130 professionals, cyber professionals in total. As you can tell with that last statement, I'm not the typical small, and in the gov market, I'm considered a mid-sized company. Probably not the typical entrepreneur that signs up for the ICCC program. But I was so impressed with the program when Steve Grossman and Elma Roberts presented this opportunity to the Retired Military Officers Association meeting, now called RBA, that I signed up for the Atlanta cohort last year. I signed up because I wanted to cross the street, right? And in RBA language that was talked to us by Admiral Watson, who kind of pushed us very hard, is taking your capabilities you have grown in the government sector to the commercial market. And I wanted to do this with my cybersecurity expertise and really push that into the commercial market with K54. But I will tell you, I was unfamiliar with the commercial market. As Anna talked about my background, it's all DOD and federal government. So I felt I could leverage and gain a lot of insight on marketing strategies, potential B2B opportunities through the ICCC training and networking sessions. During my time in the training, I was thoroughly impressed with the caliber of trainers and the quality of training available to the students. I gained valuable insight on adapting my marketing strategy to a commercial client, pivoting the business, and coming up with a new strategy and model based on the current environment we were living in. And I picked up some valuable tips in financing during crisis. And by the way, the networking sessions were very helpful, and we certainly made some connection with potential partners into the future. I certainly recognize the positive impact this program has on small, minority, and women-owned business. It's very apparent as you go through the classes and you're sitting and talking to some of your other entrepreneurs as the impact comes across, especially for the new and growing companies, and because it is in some cases, is a graduate degree in understanding the business and the business model and what you have to be ready for and be prepared for. I certainly would recommend you consider the opportunity as a way to gain that additional insight to your business. And the staff has done a great job transitioning to a virtual environment to make it seamless. And so I thank the leadership for the opportunity to join. And I look forward to the continuing partnership with the organization and we all want to gain contracts in the near future. So thank you all, and good luck, and great to have the CCC and the ICCC here in the Northern Virginia area.
Kevin, thank you so much. I think one of the things that we're realizing too from what you're sharing, and obviously the many years of experience that you bring, is the access that small businesses have to leaders like yourself, and the ability to have that peer-to-peer mentorship, which I did not touch on. So thank you for reminding me of that. And now I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Sam Figueroa, who'll also introduce some of our key partners in the region, as well as share more about the nomination process and ways that we can collaborate. Sam?
Great, thank you so much, Anna Marie, and also Kevin. We're so happy to have you as an alum of the program. Once again, my name's Sam Figueroa, and I'm a program coordinator here with ICCC. So I'm excited to introduce some of our key partners in the Northern Virginia area who will share some partner remarks. You'll hear from Sheila Dixon, Milan Tran, and Michelle Zeiger and their experiences as partners. And you'll also hear from Victor Hoskins. So Sheila, please take it away.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to thank the team at ICCC for, as well as the Community Foundation of Northern Virginia for presenting this opportunity for the Northern Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce members and community at large. When I first started with the Chamber right at the beginning of the pandemic, there were many things that I had to navigate as far as the different layers of the economy as a whole and the different layers of the economy in the Black business community. And during that time, there were many incubators and accelerators and different opportunities where people wanted to share their education to help our Black business owners. And so it's been very interesting to navigate and to decide which ones we want to move forward with. And when I heard about the ICCC and the layers of the economy that I need to address in Northern Virginia for Black businesses, I felt that this was a really great fit for many of our business owners in the area. Many of us have great ideas, concepts, and now it's that growth mode. And I wanted to bring a program to the area that promotes the growth for businesses in the area. So I just want to thank everybody for that. The Northern Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce, we are here to educate, advocate, and help our Black business owners wherever they are in their journey. And so with partnering with the ICCC, I think that we can accomplish that through the powerful programming and through some of the things, the modules that I've seen, where I know we can take away some of the obstacles from many of our businesses so that they can continue to thrive in the area.
Great, thank you, Sheila. Next, we'll hear from Milan Tran.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Milan Tran. It is my distinct pleasure to be here with you. I appreciate ICCC inviting me here to provide some brief remarks about how Virginia Asian Chamber of Commerce is participating with the organization. I'd like to do 2 to 3 minutes remarks divided in 3 areas. One, first of all, I'd like to thank, Sari Raskin from the Community Foundation of Northern Virginia, who has given me an opportunity to be introduced to Laura, who we work very, with lots of compassion, working toward a better and enhanced procurement system in Northern Virginia. From there, we embark into other areas of needs of those who are immigrants, LEP, limited English speakers, minority small businesses. The mission of the Virginia Asian Chamber of Commerce is to provide economic empowerment, technical assistance, and connection to Asian American-owned businesses created in 2004. Started firstly in Ashland, Virginia, now in all over the Commonwealth, Southwest Virginia, Northern Virginia, Central Hampton Roads. We focus very much, since COVID had happened, much on 6 areas of focus on economic development. 1, healthcare. 2, workforce development and education. 3, environmental justice, health issues, working on cancer prevention, working with hospitals and improving health issues among Asian Americans. Thirdly, I'd like to just bring up three small questions on the ICC curriculum. Now, I'm an avid student of Professor Michael Porter since I spent my time in government in Massachusetts. And at the time, Michael Porter's theory in intervening with those underserved through economic and small business empowerment have already been resonating. I'm impressed by the fact that ICC focus on healthcare, construction, and food, especially after COVID. And I'm delighted to see that you are utilizing providers from Canada, the world next door. And just have a quick question, why are you leaving education out of the focus for 2021? That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Milan. We're so happy to have you a partner here in Northern Virginia. I'd now like to introduce Michelle Zeiser, founder and CEO of the Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Michelle?
Well, thank you, Sam. And it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you and this wonderful program that I think working together, we can accomplish so much more. And it's just great to have this collaborative effort to help business creation and growth in Northern Virginia. The Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce was established over 20 years ago with the goal to build economic bridges throughout our community in order to create, promote, and enhance business opportunities for the Hispanic and business population. For over 20 years, we have provided bilingual tools, resources, and information on how to start, grow a business. Hispanics are starting businesses faster than any other ethnic group, and our chamber has changed dramatically to accommodate the needs of these small businesses. During COVID-19, the VHC developed over 80 virtual workshops, 89 one-on-one sessions in response to COVID, and both in English and Spanish. This is free for both our members and the community at large. Workshops consisted of various topics. A lot of them involved helping businesses that weren't online to get online, to help them market their businesses during COVID, how to get government assistance. We helped many apply for PPP loans and various topics. We helped over 33 new businesses start. And we help and we constantly work on workforce development with our program called Trabaja VA, helping companies find talent they need to run their business. Our chamber directory and connections have doubled since the beginning of COVID due to our constant outreach to the community, and really by our partners, working directly with our partners, many of them on the call, including Fairfax County EDA. But it really takes the collaboration, really makes a big difference on how we are able to help give back to the community. There's lots of different ways that you can get involved with the chamber if you're not already involved with us. To know what's going on with the Hispanic business community and the community at large by visiting our website, sign up for our newsletter, visit our calendar, our bilingual resources and tools, and our annual reports are there. And just one last note, I just want to remind everyone, it's Hispanic Heritage Month will be September 15th to October 15th, and we'll be kicking off Restaurante Week, the second year we've done that, where we get people in the community to try a local Latino restaurant during Hispanic Heritage Month. But it's a pleasure again to be here. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Michelle. It seems like you're doing quite a bit for the Hispanic community in the Northern Virginia and DC area, and we're very happy to partner with you. I'd now like to introduce Victor Hoskins, the President and CEO of the Fairfax County EDA. Victor, take it away.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you for this opportunity to speak to you at this kickoff event for the Intercity Capital Connections Northern Virginia. This tuition-free program designed by ICCC is exactly the type of technical assistance that can build the capacity of minority-owned businesses across Northern Virginia. We have known for a long time that access to capital, one-on-one coaching, and capacity building education are essential for businesses, for underserved communities to survive and thrive. We also know that the pandemic only made the problem even more acute. Karen Schma, director of our Diversity Business Investment Division, worked with thousands of businesses to get them technical assistance and resources they needed to survive during this time. These programs included the federal PPP grants and the EIDL loans and the Fairfax RISE program and the Fairfax County Microloan program and the state's Rebuild Virginia grant program, and now the Fairfax County Pivot program. Every jurisdiction in Northern Virginia Every jurisdiction in the Northern Virginia Economic Development Alliance, 100 small businesses received $89 million in assistance from local governments in Northern Virginia to help them bridge the pandemic gap. And almost all programs, large percentages of grants went directly to minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. Fairfax County share of that was 4,800 companies and over $52 million in grants given. And 72% of the assistance from this program, the Fairfax County RISE program, went to minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. The NOVA Economic Development Alliance has organized and presented 2 seminar series, and we work together not only to organize these, but execute them and market them to our businesses. My office presented a webinar with U.S. Senator Mark Warner to highlight the issues of access to capital for minority-owned businesses. It featured a 3rd-generation president of a Black-owned bank, an entrepreneur who spoke of her struggles in gaining capital while she was building her business, which is now a successful business, and the head of a community development financial institution that's based in the region. My office also has worked with organizations called Start Small, Think Big to provide legal, financial, and marketing assistance free to minority-owned businesses. 42% of the business establishments in Northern Virginia are owned by minority, women, and veterans. They are a huge part of our economy. A groundbreaking study by the NOVA Economic Development Alliance just published with the Northern Virginia Regional Commission and the Community Foundation of Northern Virginia found that minority-owned businesses cluster in industries such as restaurants, hospitality, retail, that were particularly vulnerable to the economic downturn created by the pandemic. These industries have a higher percentage of minority employees also. This study also made a number of very important recommendations. 1, help groups such as the Northern Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce, the Virginia Chamber of Hispanic Chamber, the Northern Hispanic American Chamber, and the Asian American Chamber, and the Virginia Asian Chamber to develop robust networks for minority businesses so they can learn from one another and so that public sector organizations can make the programs that they have available more readily available. 2nd, identify ways to develop tools that will enhance data collection, outreach efforts to minority communities, and support for businesses in the pandemic industries. And 3rd, establish small regional working groups to develop strategies and create ideas to improve capital access and address hurdles faced by residents of color, especially Black-owned businesses. The study noted that many gaps in technical assistance to help minority-owned businesses in Northern Virginia were like many across the country. As we begin to recover from the pandemic, the program that is being introduced today is exactly what is needed right now to fill those gaps. Fairfax County is a hugely successful business location, 11 Fortune 500 headquarters, 100 Inc. 5000 companies. And we are going to make sure that all of our companies have the opportunity to become the next Inc. 5000 member or Fortune 500 company. And as we like to say in my office, save a job, you save a household. You save households, you save a community. Fairfax County Economic Development Authority is proud to be a partner with ICCC and will be more than happy to nominate cohorts along with our alliance partners in Northern Virginia. And we're so happy to be able to work with the minority chambers to get this program rolling and to promote it to businesses throughout the region. I congratulate the Initiative for Competitive Intercity, the minority chambers, and Kaiser Permanente for getting this started. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Victor, for your kind words and the work you've been doing in the Northern Virginia community. I'd also like to thank Michelle, Milan, and Sheila for being ICCC partners. We can't wait to continue to expand upon our work this year. So now I'd like to share a little bit more about how you can engage with some business owners and connect them with the ICCC program. I'll just briefly go through these because we want to leave some time for networking. So, and you'll also receive these slides, but some of the ways you can nominate business owners is submitting a list of business owners with their contact information to us and letting them know that they've been nominated. You can also host an information session and invite your network to attend to learn more about the program, and sharing program information via an email newsletter or through social media is also welcome. Another way that we'd like to collaborate is through becoming a collaborator, which is an opportunity to stay engaged with ICCC. So as a collaborator, we would work together to provide timely and relevant resources to the Northern Virginia community by utilizing our network of subject matter experts. Examples for how we've worked with collaborators include having people present on webinars, volunteering as capital and general business coaches, as well as co-hosting panel discussions on relevant business topics. So similar to nominating, becoming a collaborator is a great way to gain exposure and build connections with other resource providers in the Northern Virginia area and across the country. For our alumni in the room, you can also get involved as a collaborator by hosting a networking session and engaging with fellow alumni on relevant topics. So this next slide, we'd like to show you a little more detail about the nomination process, from how to identify businesses to how you can submit your nominations, which I kind of mentioned earlier. You will also get these sized tomorrow, along with our nominator process packet that gives you a lot more information. And you can always reach out to me by email as well. And then on the next slide, you'll see the nomination and application timelines we're looking for Northern Virginia. So our nomination deadline is September 3rd. So we really would encourage you to begin to identify and nominate some local businesses within the next month. And then just once again, on the next slide, you'll see a few of the other save the dates. Once again, the Northern Virginia opening seminar will take place the afternoons of October 19th and 21st. So we encourage you to save the dates. And if you do have time to attend for a portion of the days, it's really a great chance to see the program in action and to check in on some of your nominees. And then I'll just share a little bit more about next steps. So it's really to begin to nominate businesses, to work on identifying those businesses, and if you're interested, following up about becoming a collaborator. And then on the next slide, you'll see some contact information that you'll also receive with the slides. Feel free to reach out to Steve, our CEO, Anna Marie, our Western Regional Manager, or myself with any questions and concerns about nominations, and we look forward to hearing from you. And I'd now like to pass it back to Anna Marie about opening up for any questions from the audience.
Thank you, Sam. And we did get a couple of questions in the chat box. One was about revenue requirements. We are looking for businesses with 100,000 in annual revenues, and we are considering 2019 revenues, especially in cases where there has been a significant decrease. And again, there are exceptions being made if they are in business, if they are an established business. And another question is, can businesses nominate themselves? Absolutely. And they can apply, we can also schedule times with them to answer their questions. If you have any businesses that are considering it but are unsure, please connect them with us. Anyone is able to apply directly. The value of having a nominator is, especially in cases where the fit may not be as clear, we can consult with you, the nominator, and ask your opinion or your thoughts on the business and their readiness for the program. So it does help in vetting the business for the program. Any other questions?
Anna Marie, there's a question there about the criteria defining economically distressed communities.
Yes, in terms of how we determine that, we do refer to LMI data as well as some proprietary data sets that we use with our, in coordination with our research team. And one thing that we've also seen, obviously, in the last year is, regardless of location, businesses have been impacted. So I think this piece is also more flexible than previous years. I think we see that the impact is affecting all zip codes this year. Obviously, we've seen some industries that have taken off in the last year, including healthcare, but I think that most industries have been impacted regardless of their location. Any other questions? Okay, well, we are excited to connect with you after this event. Please reach out to us, but we'll also be reaching out, obviously, with follow-up information and invitations to connect more directly. But we'd also like to give you the time to connect with each other. We know how important it is to build the ecosystem, and there are very few opportunities we get to do that these days. So I'll turn it back over to Sam and Britton to put us into our small groups just to get to know each other and to connect.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Anna Marie. My colleague Britton is just getting those breakout rooms ready. So in the 5 minutes we have left, it'd be great for you all to introduce yourselves and your organization, share any updates and initiatives you're working on, and maybe identify some opportunities to stay connected. But thank you everyone for joining us, and happy networking.
Thank you again for joining us today. Look forward to connecting.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, see you all later.
Come on.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.